Hello, I'm Adam Gaterell, and obviously I'm used to having an audience of some description with me, so I've brought my own audience. I hope you enjoy the audience as much as you enjoy my poetry stroke spoken word. I'm going to start with my shortest poem, and it goes like this. His name is Barry Goodenkind. He was not kind at all. I didn't say it was good, I just said it was short. When I was a kid, I was terrified of Postman Pat because I didn't understand the lyrics. I thought that it was let us through your door, not letters through your door. So I had to think about some other kids' TV shows that I grew up watching, how confusing they might have been to me, or possibly even worse for kids nowadays. And I put together some ideas based on those. So here's one of them about a particular badger. I grew up a little weird. I blame it on TV. I got a tad confused until I realised recently, after talking to a friend about the topic of that badger, the one that likes potatoes not hard but mashed with butter. As that Bodger and Badger might just have been brothers, because if Bodger's the badger, then that means Simon's surname's Badger, unless Bodger is Badger and Badger is Bodger. But Mr. Badger, living with a lodger called Bodger, also his brother a badger called Bodger, confuses the matter that a badger called Bodger with the surname of Badger is his own brother's lodger. So Bodger Badger the badger and Simon Badger the human, unless it's Badger Bodger the badger and his human Simon brother Bodger. Whoa. Or maybe Bodger is Simon's surname and the badger was just a badger that liked mashed potatoes. So this next one is actually about Postman Pat, because I feel I need to do one about Postman Pat. I've just talked about it, so let's do a poem about Postman Pat. Postman Pat, Postman Pat, Postman Pat and his black and white cat. Early in the morning, just as day is dawning, he packs up all his post bags in his van. Everybody knows his bright red van. Everybody smiles as they wave to greet him. Maybe you can never be sure, there'll be knock, ring, let us through your door. Yes, I know it's let us through your door, but before I was 4, let us through your door was a misheard lyric I couldn't ignore. It was one of those times I couldn't be sure if Pat's plea for entrance was dripping with gore, from cylindrical head to lacklustre jaw. With his unlucky cat and his peaked Stasi hat, why did he want to get into my flat? What did I have that he so slathered for? What was the reason that he clawed at my door? Slung over his back a child-trapping sack, would he snatch me to keep me, that disturbed Postman Pat? I must implore, the fear was raw, the grim spectre of Pat stood at my door, but as I said, this was before I was 4. And I realise now that kids' TV was rather confusing and detrimental to me. At an age, what you hear and what you see has a lasting effect on who you turn out to be. And he had a very phallic nose. I'm going to do one about politics, because every poet has something about politics nowadays, so I feel like I probably need to do one as well. So here we go. This is a story of the day that everything went wrong. The day he lifted up his leg to let out a sneaky pong. But as he lifted up a cheek, the vibrations were a shock. Within his brand new trousers appeared a softened rock. But unlike any rock he knew, it didn't stay that hard. It softened rather quickly, like a block of summer lard. The squeak he was expecting had been a squelchy parp. He really only wanted to let out a tiny fart. Embarrassed and disgusted, he ran awkwardly to the loo, where all the politicians were talking the same shit too. Oh yeah! This one's about a seagull, because I spend a lot of time on beaches. Hey there, seagulls, standing on stones. Sing something soulful, say something sweet. Sing of the seas seen, sounds of the stones, symphonies of the sliding shore. Something I can adore. Ah! Ah! Thank you very much. Oh yeah! I get rather confused sometimes by well-known English phrases because the English language can be rather confusing. So I thought I'd put together some of the most confusing phrases I've heard in a little piece. It's more of a rant than a poem, so enjoy. They say, do they? Who are they that say? And what is it that they say, and should they be saying what they are saying anyway? They say a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, if you're some idiot in power. They say that women like a bad boy. Now, I'm bad at most things, and I've never been a ladies' man. They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but that makes an assumption I've got good eyesight. They say out with the old and in with the new. Not sure the partner would be too pleased if I did as they say and went with the younger model replacement scheme. They say a different kettle of fish. But why would I want a kettle full of fish in the first place? And why would I want to change it for another kettle of fish? Plus, who keeps fish in a kettle? It's a kettle. Weirdos. They say the devil's in the details. Is he? Well, that's not a good idea. What if it's a safety manual? What the hell does that even mean? So he's hiding in the details and tiny details and elements of my paintings and drawings. They say every cloud has a silver lining. What are you on about? What does that even mean? I've flown through clouds before, and guess what? They're white, grey or black. Sometimes even the occasional pink, red or orange. Never silver. Where did you get silver from? And if it's a metaphor for coming second, you know, looking for the best in everything, it represents second, not first. So what are you trying to say? That even if a horribly black cloud hangs over you and causes things to fall apart in your world, you should look on the bright side, because in this shroud of shit, you might get second place. You're not good enough for first, just second. So, here you go, have a medal. Not a real one, just one made out of the innards of an imaginary silver cloud. But that's what they say. And everyone says it, so it must be true. Oh, yeah. And this final piece is a video I made of one of my poems. Kind of like a music video, but for a poem. So I don't know what you call it. I'll get Tim, King Stammers, thank you for inviting me along to the festival. I'll get him to put that on the end, and you can all have a look. Thank you very much. Bye.